So a funny thing happened on the way to choosing a topic to record about this time out. I tapped my co-host on the shoulder for this particular episode and said, hey, you got some time? Let's get an episode done. He's like, cool, what do you want to do? And it just, I don't forget which one of us said it, but if you're following the show, you know that back on February 20th of 2024, we did a watch-along movie commentary of RoboCop. Well, guess what happens today as we record this on February 24th, 2025? We're doing RoboCop 2. Why? Because we just didn't have anything else. I'm kidding. It just seemed like it fit, honestly. And if you're going to do RoboCop 1, you may as well do RoboCop 2. It does not mean, however, you're going to get RoboCop 3 a year from now. But we could do it just to be cheeky, just so you know. But stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed the first RoboCop episode, we enjoyed doing it. It's hokey, great, ridiculous fun, that movie is. I don't have a lot of recollection of RoboCop 2, if I'm being honest. Yes, I'm sure I've seen it several times through the years, but it's been a long time, so it's going to be interesting to get back into it here today. But before we get into it, let's do this. RoboCop 2 is a 1990 American science fiction superhero action film directed by Irvin Kershner and written by Frank Miller. Yes, thank Frank Miller and Waylon Green. It stars Peter Weller, Nancy Allen, Danny O'Hurley, Belinda Bauer, Tom Noonan, and Gabriel Damon. It is the sequel to the 1987 film RoboCop, the second entry in the RoboCop franchise, and the last to feature Weller as RoboCop. Just we're branding the crap out of this until he returned in Mortal Kombat 11 in 2019. RoboCop Rogue City and other media. It is also the last film Kershner directed before his death in 2010. Set in a dystopian Detroit, the plot follows RoboCop, you guessed it, as he becomes embroiled in a scheme made by Omni Consumer Products, OCP to you, to bankrupt and take over the city while also fighting the spread of a street drug called Nuke and its gang of dealers led by Kane. That's portrayed by Noonan. The film was shot on location in Houston. Release date for this movie, June 22nd, 1990. The approximate running time is 117 minutes. The budget for this film was $25 to $30 million. The box office was $45.7 million. Take that and do with it what you will. But that is your lowdown on RoboCop 2. So, Chris, here we are, 1 year after the fact. You would think we timed it this way. We should have just said we timed it this way. But I've dropped the ball and revealed that we did not indeed time it that way. So, have you seen part 2 more than you've seen part 1, or are they about even?
I have seen part 2 less than part 1. As a kid, I watched both of these quite a bit, but it's been a while since I've watched RoboCop 2, and I did not watch it leading up to the show. So this watch back will be with a fresh set of eyes.
Yeah, same. I didn't watch it ahead of time either. I just like to watch stuff in the moment. We've never done anything here that's been a watch along that we've never watched before. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, it would almost be good to do something completely new if we went that route, like something that just came out.
Ooh, yeah.
That might be that might be something spicy for an episode in the future.
It just makes me wonder if we could talk on top of it. We're trying to hear the dialogue. You know what I mean?
Well, you just pick something crappy. That's what it is. Like something you know is going to not be good to begin with.
Yeah.
You just go from there.
We'd have to do like Bubba Hotep. Have you seen Bubba Hotep?
Yes.
Dude,
I love that movie.
I love it too, but it's so crappy. But it's crappy in a good way. You know what I mean? It's not like I have to turn my head because it's so bad. It's not that bad. It's not that version of bad. It's just bad meaning good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like there's definitely movies that we've seen more of that recently where people try intentionally to do those kind of films and they always kind of fall short.
Yeah.
But when you find like a good like B movie that's so bad that it's good, it's always great. You see a lot more of that in old like 80s horror and like 80s grindhouse action flicks. Like all of the Death Wishes, for instance. They're like terrible movies, but they're pretty funny at the same time.
They are, yeah. Death Wish 3, The Crackdown, I think it's what it was called. I don't know how I remember that. Charles Bronson was awesome. Oh, man. I love me some Charles Bronson. So, by the way, we're talking about the TV show. You said you'd watch the show. Who's in the show? Because I don't even know the answer to that.
Oh man, without pulling it up, I don't know right offhand. It's one of those things that used to come on like Sci-Fi, for what I remember, or one of those shows. So you would see like the replays when I was a kid, and I remember watching it. When I say when I was a kid, I was probably a teenager, like in middle school or early high school. But it's it's in the same world, but outside of that, it's kind of like its own thing. Let's see if I can pull up who else in the TV show, because
gosh, I have no idea.
I don't recall it being a bunch of A-list actors, to be honest.
It's kind of like the Blade movies, right? There was a trilogy and there was a TV show. It's kind of the same deal with RoboCop too, right?
Yeah. But those are all available for anyone out there looking for more RoboCop. They just posted all those up on Amazon, so watch that complete series is out there.
Interesting.
Richard Eden plays Alex Murphy, and in RoboCop in the TV show, which is it's only 23 episodes. So if you wanted to watch the RoboCop TV show, you can get through it pretty quickly.
I don't know if I know that name, actually. Richard Eden. I don't know. So, well, kids, don't you worry. We got the real deal here today. Peter Weller. By the way, real quick, did you ever get into the Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai?
I did not.
That'd be something I'd love to look up, because it's been a year since. I think it was was it HBO series, or was it a movie? God, honestly, I'm fuzzy. I just remember enjoying it as a kid. Put it that way.
I always thought it was a movie, but I've never seen it. So, let's see. It's a film, 1984 film.
There you go, 84. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's
that was. I've never seen it. I have a friend that really liked it a lot, and he would talk about it, and I just never got around to watching it. So I'll have to throw that on my list of stuff to watch. Sorry, I'm having to close out all these tabs about Renegade, because we were talking about that before. Before coming on the air here. There was another RoboCop TV show as well called Prime Directives. I've never seen that one.
That's right. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, Meltdown. RoboCop Meltdown, aka Prime Directives. I've never seen that one, so I cannot speak to the quality of that. That one came out in 2001, so.
By the way, you're a gamer. What about RoboCop game? Did you get into that?
Yeah, we talked about that on the first episode. It's
That's
great.
Right.
It was surprisingly good. Like, I kind of expected it to, especially because it was from a smaller developer. I didn't expect much from it. And from what I remember, it takes place between RoboCop 2 and 3, and it's complete own story. But the way you move in the game is exactly like how RoboCop moves in the films. So that might be one thing that could turn people off if you're into like fast-paced first-person shooters, because you move like RoboCop. So like all your movement's very intentional. You have all your big boss battles with was it Ed, the giant walking robot, right? You have those fights in the game. You have a bunch of different like similar scenarios. You're trying to stop Nuke. There's some new characters introduced. There's lots of like neat things, like where you're actually walking around the police station in the game, which is kind of cool. Like RoboCop's working at the desk at one point, at the front desk, which is just funny in itself. There's lots of cheeky jokes. There's achievements for if you blow someone's dick off. There's an achievement for that. So it stays true to the film. It's a lot of fun. It's I know it recently dropped down to like $20. So if you're a big RoboCop fan and you like video games and you haven't played it, it's definitely worth a playthrough. I really, really enjoyed it.
I just want to see RoboCop working the front desk saying, "Fill out this form. The bathroom is on the left."
So it kind of does like the Ubisoft or where you have like 3 or 4 different answers that you can respond with, and then it has a branching path based on how you respond.
Like the choose your own adventure. Oh, did you ever get to choose your own adventure?
Yeah, I mean, like I've played so many video games. There's a lot of that.
Sure.
But you're talking about the old school like Dungeons and Dragons choose your adventure books where it's like turn to page 34.
And dude, it never failed. Every time I made a choice, I got killed on the page I turned to. You have died, you know? Crap. I had a Star Wars choose your own adventure, and I had or Star Trek for sure. I used to have a bunch back in the day. I think those were some of those books that were included on the remember the pamphlets they would send home for school for the book fair that would come to the school?
Right.
You could buy books, you know? Oh, God, I used to get into that. I'm flashbacking something big time. Well, kids, you didn't just come here for sparkling conversation. You came here for the RoboCop 2 commentary. Now, no matter where you're watching it, whether legally, as our friend Mr. Patton is, or illegally, as your host is, no matter what you choose to do, you should have the MGM logo at the beginning. So here's what we're going to do. I have a black screen. When I hit play, it's going to come up to the MGM lion and off to the races we go. And that's it. If you've got any hoo-ha nonsense before the MGM lion, get to black before the lion, pause it, and then you can start up with us. We'll drop markers as we go, as we always do. And so if you want to play along, follow along, watch along as you're listening to us, that's why you're here. Enjoy. And again, as I said, we'll drop it along as we go. Captions are turned on because we're going to be talking. So you may want to do that. But I'm anxious to do this. Chris, are you ready?
Yeah, just one side note. If you're watching it on Amazon Prime on the MGM Plus app, there is two MGM logos. So you'll want to hit the one around the 18-second mark, or you'll be 18 seconds behind the show.
That's some good information. All right, kids. We're going to do Lethal Weapon countdown. We're going to go 1, 2, go on 3, not 1, 2, 3, go. So when I say the word 3, hit play. All right, kids, here we go. 1, 2, hit play. That's 3. Sorry, should have said it. There's the first growl and the second growl. If you don't have that, you're already behind. By the way, I'm sure I said this a year ago, Chris. Orion Pictures used to be the powerhouse. If I'm remembering correctly. At least when I was a kid, that logo was always in the theater.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
I mean, I know them specifically for these movies. Like, they're that logo just coincides with RoboCop in my head for whatever reason. I'm sure it's on other things, but that's like Miramax, the logo for that. Like, I always think of any of the Kevin Smith movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, that's fair. Well, we have a ne'er-do-well. How often do he do well? Nair. That's how often. He's stealing a car with a horrible haircut. Look at that. Well, there's a set deterrent, buddy.
The Magnavolt.
Oh, look who it is. John Glover. I love me some John Glover. We've talked about John Glover so many times on this freaking show, man. I love this guy. Won't even run down your battery. What more could you ask for?
What's better, the Magnavolt or the Batman shields from the 89 Batman movie?
I don't know, man. I'm going with the Magnavolt. What a way to kick off a movie, dude.
Yeah. I love the commercials in all of these movies. 3 is so much more toned down. I'm not looking forward to that. I couldn't remember the Ed numerical earlier when I was talking about the video game, but 209.
209, yeah. That's Lisa Gibbons, by the way, kids, of Entertainment Tonight fame you just saw. Greatest health threat facing our nation. Nuke. You notice that like movies and TV shows are obsessed with like a designer drug and they'll name it something and everybody's hooked on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the time.
You know, there's like a very interesting backstory about the MGM lion as well. Have you ever read anything about that?
Once you tell me, I'll remember it, but now I don't remember. I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, there was a few different lions, but like the first lion, because the films were silent, it didn't roar. So that didn't happen until like 1928. Which was the second lion. And then they had like a more aggressive looking lion in the 30s and 50s. So
Nice.
the lion, every time a lion would die, they updated the lion, it seems like, for like the first three. And then they've been using Leo, which is the more famously one known from like 57 to now. It's the same lion. But they like the first lion, if I remember correctly, they got from like, it's kind of a crazy story. They got it from like a circus as like an adopted lion that lived on the studio lot, which is kind of wild.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah.
So we got some homeless folks here, kids. They're down on the luck. I just saw a swastika painted. That's not cool. And things are bad. Things are bad. That sign that the guy a while ago said OCP canceled our prisons. We saw Kane earlier, by the way. More to come about Kane, and not that Kane. Oh, come on!
It's gotta be Kane. Yeah, the like neo-Nazi symbolism in these films is kind of prevalent. All of the gang members are kind of dressed like neo-Nazi punks.
Yeah,
Nazi punks must die, Tom.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm all in favor of punching Nazis square in the face. We've established that here on the show. So this guy just robbed a little old homeless lady. By the way, how does homeless lady have money in her wallet? Oh, look, and the ladies of the night are getting some revenge on the thief.
It's kind of funny that this movie is actually more violent than the first one, which you would think
it is. It's already
would be opposite, but that was kind of one of the complaints by fans at the time, is that this movie was kind of just violent to be violent, and it didn't really have the same kind of comic-y aspect of the first.
Yeah. I'd forgotten these ladies. Hey, look, man. You know, power to the people. That's what I say. Let the ladies have their say. Have their day. Oh, man, look out.
I mean,
liquor store got blew up.
I don't know who you're supposed to feel bad for in that situation. I mean, you should have to feel worse for the old woman who gets robbed, right?
Well,
but then they beat down the guy that robbed him, and they rob him.
Yeah.
But then, like, the original victim is still the original victim.
Sure.
So there's not really any justice there. Like,
there's always a bigger fish, right? Every time you turn around, one fish is eating another one.
I see that we've returned to Gideon's pawn shop.
That's right. Yeah.
Gids is not here, it seems.
No.
That's a reference back to The Crow.
I think one of these guys is Eastbound and Down. I think that's who this is. I always blank on the actor. I don't know why he's in
Kenny Powers.
Kenny Powers. Why do I always blank on the character? That's crazy. Righteous Gemstones, the last season's coming out, by the way. They've been previewing it. I am
excited for that. I didn't realize that Danny McBride wrote most of Eastbound and Down and a lot of Righteous Gemstones. I didn't realize that he was a TV writer.
Have you heard an interview with him, like out of character? So when Danny McBride talks, man, he's like this. Like, yeah, we worked on that. I'm so used to hearing him go like this. That little southern twang in his voice. Like, it's so odd to hear him not have that. It's weird.
It's just kind of funny that that show became as big as it was, Eastbound and Down, because it's kind of just like parody of John Rocker, who played for the Atlanta Braves.
It is. Wow.
Yeah. That's a Georgia resident, Danny McBride from old Statesboro.
There you go. That guy Rocker turned out just like we thought he would, by the way.
Yeah. No surprise.
I saw that the other day online. I'm like, oh, well, that tracks. That tracks, yeah.
But that was kind of the joke of the Kenny Powers character. Was
making
fun of that guy.
By the way, that rocket launcher thing they got, that thing is spectacular. I mean, wow.
It's pretty good.
Well done, OCP, dude,
Yeah. Not as good as Ed 209. But.
Dude, can I ask a question? Where's our hero? I mean, why did it take this long? Like,
because they have the technology to build Ed 209 and RoboCop, but not the technology to build faster police cars. They're still in these Ford Tauruses, so.
No kidding. You gotta love the gun in the leg. Like,
it's great. What's a cooler gun, the RoboCop gun or the Ed or the Judge Dredd gun?
What do you call it? Peacemaker? Is that what he called that gun?
Yeah, they're both really cool designs.
They're both very cool. What did you think about that other Dredd movie? Not the first one we never speak of. I'm talking about the other one. With
I liked that one a lot. That's the one where they're
Carl
going
Urban.
through through the building, right?
Yeah.
Like up each floor. It's kind of cool. Very video game type. Like what I would think if they made a modern Judge Dredd video game. It's got a lot of real cool visuals in that. Some of the camera work reminds me of Drive a little bit.
Yeah,
The way it's filmed. But I like that movie a lot when it came out.
Where is it made? Look how he's walking. He's very blue in this, by the way. He's much more bluer than he was in the first one.
Serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law.
Uphold the law.
Yeah, I don't like this costume or suit as much as the first one, which was more silver. In the game, you get all of them. So as you unlock different things, as you do different things in the games, you get the different guns, the various guns, as well as the various suits from the 3 movies.
Yeah. The fourth directive, by the way, the little-known fourth directive, we should mention. Not many people know this. The fourth directive, of course, is pick up the tacos. Because he enjoys tacos, as do we all. And it's just a reminder for him to not forget his dinner. So.
Wasn't there there is a hidden fourth?
There is a hidden fourth.
We saw that in the first film.
We did. Oh, what a great moment. How'd I forget that? Right through the door. That popped me like a kid, man. He turned that door into tinfoil with one punch. Look at that. I'll just lock them in here. Ha, 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 ha. You're locked in now. They're like, did he just laugh at us?
It's so wild. There's like a baby like in this drug distribution center.
It's bring your kid to work day, Chris. I'm just saying they're trying to be like family oriented here in the nuke lab. Although the producers loved Frank Miller's original version of the script, they quickly realized it was unfilmable as written. The final screen version was heavily rewritten and bears only a superficial resemblance to Miller's story. In 2003, Miller's screenplay was adapted into a comic book series titled appropriately Frank Miller's RoboCop.
Which makes you wonder how much darker that was, because
right?
This movie's not very dark, but it is very violent.
Yes.
So I wonder, I've never read the comic for RoboCop. Frank Miller seems to have that problem whenever he works on any film, though.
Yeah, and dude, Frank's a legend, and I know people give him crap because and stuff in his later years, but I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of like if Stan Lee kept creating into his golden years, would people give him crap, or would they just say he's still a legend? I don't know. Frank's a legend, man. I'm sorry. Like, I get it. Some of his stuff's not for everybody, but I can't dismiss what the guy's done in his career, you know? So we just saw Kane earlier.
Yes. Who kind of goes through a Super Shredder-esque mutation throughout this film. Who is the guy that is like bootleg Clint Eastwood in this scene as an actor? Do you have that pulled up?
That guy. He looks very familiar. By the way, this guy that's playing Kane, this Tom, this is not an intimidating guy at all. If you saw him, be like, yeah, I can take his lunch money from him. Look,
they wanted another bald villain for the follow-up.
Without that gun, you're nobody. You're nothing. I don't know. Depends on what the character's name is.
I'm looking it up as we speak here.
I've got a list of cast, but I don't have... There's Nancy Allen, kids. You know her from the first one. As Anne. Ann Lewis. Why you be opening? Don't be opening that. That was kind of a dumb move. Man. In the shootout scene at the nuke lab in the beginning of the film, that's where we are, RoboCop stops to reload his gun. This is one of the few times in the series where he is seen reloading his weapon. You know what?
Well, we just hit that.
Yeah.
That is kind of weird. I'm really bad about paying attention to stuff like that, though. Like the continuity of how often someone reloads, or the famously how often they shift in Fast and the Furious. I'm not the guy that pays that close of attention to the continuity of those kind of things.
I never have been either. By the way, a little kid just got the drop on him. It just reminded me of Blazing Saddles.
It's one of those things where it's like he's literally a robotical man. So how often he reloads the gun doesn't seem that important.
Sure. We won't. We can't have that. Jesus. Yeah, that's a real baby. That's good stuff. By the way, if I'm getting it right, I think he's wearing plexiglass in this movie, by the way. Which is, of course, not plexiglass, fiberglass, excuse me. And this is his son, Murphy's son, who was left behind because Murphy got himself all shot up and killed. You know, it's worth pointing out there, Chris, that if anything like this were ever possible, any sort of cyber organic technology, the ghost in the machine would probably be very hard to get him out. Like he's still him, which is the same thing they did with the reboot several years ago. I find that interesting that, like, no matter how sci-fi these things are, the idea of the man is still in there somewhere, like Darth Vader, right? It's still kind of cool.
So the character I was talking about was Katso, apparently. And his character is just very much looks like just like a Kmart version of Clint Eastwood.
Oh, there you go. Katso.
And I'm looking up the cast now because he's not listed as in the top cast. So
I don't have Katso either, but I've seen that guy before.
Yeah, let's see here.
Frank Miller's in the movie, by the way, as a character named Frank. Kids,
Michael Medeiros? Is
that it?
Yeah, he was in X-Men First Class. Brawl in Cell Block 99. Apparently.
So, kids, he is in the chair with the mask off. So you're getting Peter Weller's face. Just take a look at her file.
I do think that this stuff looks better in this film than it did in the first film.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever they had to take the mask off at this one, I think it looks a lot better.
It does.
You also have these sequences in the video game where you have to upload your memory after certain story missions and stuff, and it gets really weird and interesting.
Man, these guys kind of suck. They're being rude and mean to him.
They're trying to get an emotional response out of him to prove that he's no longer human or whatever, because they're still stuck on that for whatever reason.
Yeah. By the way, my captions are all wonky and they're not even matching the film. This is what I get for watching a bootleg copy. I want tacos. That was in the original script, and they cut it. So, give the man his tacos. What's going on?
Yeah, my captions are freaking huge. I did the thing again where I accidentally clicked extra large. So they're like half the screen.
I think my captions from a different film. I don't know what's going on.
Do you want me
like right now?
The audio version of RoboCop 2.
Well, nothing's on my screen. Nothing. I'm watching the movie. There's nothing up. Like it just the closed captioning mechanism is like, all right, I'm out. I can't keep up with this. I don't care. You ain't paying for this, so I don't care. My technology can be a little sassy at times.
Yeah, my technical difficulties are completely my own fault because I clicked extra large on accident. So now they're half the size of the screen.
I've been there.
Which happened last time we were doing the Christmas watch along for Die Hard. That also happened.
That's right. Yeah. And now we've got an unexpected visitor to the OCP. OCP, not to be confused with OPP or PCO. Just saying. The back of his neck looks like a vacuum cleaner.
It does kind of.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, this suit is not as cool as the first one, for sure.
No. Did you bring tacos?
I know that Peter Weller talked about this suit was even heavier than the first one, which he had problems with in the first movies. Like famously, any of those documentaries where he talks about his movement being so robotical wasn't necessarily an acting choice as much as it was the limit of the suit. Like he said, he had issues with overheating and like losing his vision and stuff when they were filming this movie, which is kind of crazy.
Well, that's his widow, sort of. You know, looking back on it, he looks ridiculous walking down that hallway. Like, it's fine. I'm just saying. Like, it's fine. We all watched it and just watched it and said to RoboCop, hey, he's a robot. But look, that looked pretty freaking awful.
It's really funny. This was like a movie made for adults that was mostly loved by kids and teenagers. Which is kind of a weird thing because, like, you know, my grandpa, my grandpa's not that old. He's he's 70. But like, he doesn't care about this crap at all. Like, none of the adults I knew about were real big RoboCop fans growing up. It was more of like my friends and other kids.
Right.
Just kind of like a weird thing considering how violent these movies are.
Ooh.
The only choice.
They incorporated his suicide into the OCP. Oh my God. Oh my, that was terrible.
I like their slogan because they're supposed to be like a futuristic monopoly. And it's like OCP Communications, the only choice.
Yeah.
That's their. There's a lot of little jokes around corporate corruption in this film that are kind of funny.
Man. I love this character.
How do you convince someone to be the next leader of OCP after the last one got blown out of a window or whatever?
Stock options, man. I don't know. Great perks in that job. There better be great perks in that job.
Yeah.
That is Dan or Hurley. I may have butchered it twice. And he's just called the old man. OCP president.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like he's essentially taking over all of Detroit as a corporation. So there's no government at all. So like the city is not involved, which is what they're complaining about in this scene.
Man, get that man an Oscar. Are you kidding me? That was great.
Yeah.
He's all intense. He's all about it.
He's wilding out for sure.
People got to know what's going on. Oh, look out. Oh. What would have made that better if he looked at the white guy and gone, get off him, man, get off him. Right? That was wonderful.
I wonder how many times how many takes that took.
Look how they're walking. Like they're very. Oh my! Like that's an uptight white guy beside you, my friend. But you don't have to walk like him. Let's see. Yeah. My lack of on-screen closed captioning is really.
Do you think that the director, I know we were talking about Irvin Kershner earlier, but how much do you think that I don't really know that really played into the movie, the way the movie is, or what it came out to be, as much as some other people. What's your thoughts on that? I guess
On what now? Say again.
Like as far as like the director of the film, like. This movie doesn't seem that much different than the first one, but a lot of people who really love RoboCop 1, I've heard complain about it and blame it on the director. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's like if you're the coach, who's going to catch the blame? The actors are not going to catch the blame. Players are going to catch the blame. It's going to be the coach and the director. I mean, Kirshner, of course, directed Empire. I mean, he directed Empire Strikes Back. This guy was, was he the greatest director of all time? No. Was he up for this? I don't know. Like, it's a good question. I mean, you would think that unless he approves, it's not going to make it through the editing process, not going to make the final cut, but who knows?
They did I wonder.
By the way, they're still walking like that, Chris. Look.
Yeah, I wonder what the thought process on going stop motion so heavily in this movie was when they first went with it, because it's
tough.
I know that they spent a lot of money on it, which is why the budget was bigger for this movie.
Mm.
They got a good person to do it. It's the same guy who did Empire Strikes Back, or not Empire Strikes Back. What was it? I just had this in my head. Empire Strikes Back was what Kershner did.
Yes,
was the first film. But yeah, what was it? I just had this pulled up.
Did he do Jedi? Was he?
No, he worked on Star Wars and Jurassic Park.
Ah, there you go.
He did a lot of stop motion in those films. So it was Star Wars related, but not specifically Empire. I don't have it's Phil Tippett, so I will look up what else he did while we're.
The point of view shots from RoboCop show an interface based on MS-DOS. The villain Kane has the Apple-based OS interface with a skull instead of the Apple logo. That's pretty awesome.
Okay, so he did the stop motion in all the Star Wars trilogy, the original trilogy.
Nice. So he did the Rancor
and Jurassic
Jedi.
Park and RoboCop.
Oh no, the Rancor. Yeah.
He also did a movie called Mad God, which was his own creation. That was a Kickstarter film that went out on Shudder. So I might have to check that out. He is still alive, 73.
Wow.
Lives in Berkeley, California. So he's got a crazy beard like me. Looking at this recent photo.
Man, why would you want to be a cop? Never mind the boss of the cops. Like.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy because he was more into doing stop motion animation, and then he was one of the also innovators as you saw things leading more into CGI. So that's really interesting because he kind of like evolved as films and things evolved as well, which is really neat.
Interesting. By the way, we just saw a cop take the nuke. The nuke. So, yeah. Not awesome, dude. There's that kid. That wacky kid.
Surprise, surprise. The kid is actually bad guy.
That's Gabriel Damon as Hob. Hob?
I think, right?
A young boy who is allied with Kane.
Terrible.
Yeah, these people be taking... Yeah, they'll be taking orders from a kid. That makes sense.
I kind of like that, though. That's very, like, That is very comic book.
Well, that's true.
Where you have like a genius child villain.
Oh, wow. He's slinging that nuke.
So somewhere in this, I remember there's a deleted scene from the DVD that you can see if you have the DVD version of this, there's a deleted scene where they show this skeleton. So be on the lookout for it. But apparently in the deleted scene, they worship the skeleton of Elvis. So they dug up Elvis's body. So there's an Elvis skeleton in one of these scenes. So if you're paying attention, you'll be able to see it in this film. But I remember that's like one of the few deleted scenes I remember from the movie.
Dude. Look at this evil Malcolm in the middle, slinging that nuke.
Evil Malcolm in the middle.
I'm just saying. That cop. You done got that cop hooked.
He doesn't look addicted enough.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, he ain't sweating enough. He's sweating because he had 3 cheeseburgers. That's why he's sweating.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
God, whoever wrote the dialogue is pretty crappy. Frank Miller, I guess, but yeah.
No, apparently they rewrote his script.
That's true.
Fun.
Well, that's the thing. How much is? Yeah, there's barely any of it's left. But what's left? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know that he would have the fun-loving. Oh, it'll be funny with the kids throwing popcorn at RoboCop.
I mean, the cool thing is, like, dude, what if we're in Hollywood? If you write something, even if it doesn't get made into a movie or project, you get paid for that work. Like, you ain't doing it for free. So I've listened to podcasts and stuff with these screenwriters who have written and spent months of their life, and the thing just never got bought, or they went with another script. Well, he still got paid. That's part of his deal. So, like, sucks his movie didn't get made, but hey, take your paycheck, move on to the next project,
Where did this kid get an Uzi from? Like,
that's a great question. Plus and you know what, the language. Come on, kid. As RoboCop said, it is indeed a school night.
Yeah. And
now he's like got a garrote, and he's like choking Lewis with it. Jeez.
We missed out on
Duffy.
What was this guy's plan there of punching RoboCop?
I'm just gonna walk away. Oh man, what language? Let's see. That's Stephen Lee as Officer Duffy.
Before she walks out to try to place these people under arrest, there's these kids with these great mullets. They got like the Misfits devil lock in the front and full mullet in the back.
Yeah.
It's going to be my next hairstyle. That's what I'm going to go with.
By the way, that shootout scene we didn't mention at the Nuke Labs is in the Budweiser Brewery. The same setting was used in Star Trek 2009 for various engineering areas of the Enterprise.
That's funny. They have the original Enterprise. They have one of the original Enterprise sets somewhere here in Georgia, and they do tours, so you can actually like walk around on the deck of the Enterprise and stuff. I want to go do that, but it's quite pricey, and they're only open like you schedule the time you go there, so it's like a privately owned thing. But it's something the wife and I are going to do. We're big Star Trek fans. Nice. There's some great video games in here. A lot of Data East cabinets. Hopefully they didn't wreck too many of those.
Right.
They missed out on some great chances of like, they should have had some like, don't do drugs. You remember like the logos that used to pop up like when you were playing an arcade game, they're like, don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. It's like the federal investigation things on video games.
RoboCop's a dangerous driver.
That's just driving a Ford Taurus from this time period in general.
That's fair. Is that him?
Yes.
It is. Yeah, I saw him.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know how much arm movement he had, robot.
And plus, like what's cool, what's awesome is like they made him and they were done. They're like, oh crap, this is it. Like, we never see another RoboCop. It's never, oh, we got another dude. Nope. All his villains, his protagonists or antagonists are all just clunky machines that stop motion. You know what I mean?
Well, in this, yeah, it kind of gets weird because we don't know what's going on between OCP and the government at this point by the second film, right? So they may not want to make another RoboCop, as he seems to harsh their plans a lot.
There's your Eastwood knockoff.
Yes.
Yeah, Katzo, you got it. He didn't even have a Wikipedia page. Oh my!
Yeah,
they done blowed him up.
I had to go to the RoboCop. There is a RoboCop Wikipedia page specifically.
Robopedia. I don't know. You'll love this. RoboCop 2 had the second highest body count in movies released in 1990. It killed off 58 people following Die Hard number 2 in 1990 with 162. My God. That's crazy.
All the stuff I remember about Die Hard 2 is like the runway stuff.
Yeah.
Like all the airport stuff. I don't remember a lot of like people getting blasted on, but I guess so.
I guess. The city of Detroit is depicted as being cash-strapped, where OCP owns the entire metropolitan area as life imitating art. The city of Detroit filed for Chapter 9 bankruptcy on July 18, 2013, with an estimated $18 to $20 billion debt. You know, this coming from the guy in North Carolina that's never lived in Detroit, nor been to Detroit, knows nothing much about Detroit. It seems to me, Chris, that is one of the saddest stories of our country, is that Detroit was, I'll say, allowed to sink the way it was. Was it the government that happened? Was it imports from other countries and automobiles? I don't know what happened. I'm ignorant on it.
Well, I mean, in the 70s, you have the fall of the auto industry, and that started the downfall of Detroit, right? So it's never really recovered since then. I would say you could say it's doing better now, I guess, but the automotive industry, shipping job, like specifically the gasoline crisis during that time? People weren't buying cars. That kind of started it, and then a lot of jobs got offloaded to different places, and less parts were being made in America. So,
yeah.
If you ever played The Sims, SimCity, one of the missions is rebuilding Detroit after the financial crisis.
Oh, that's easy. Wow. By the way, we just saw the ghost, the body of the king, as you mentioned earlier. Oh, Kane's here, and not the dude that makes the fire.
Yeah, this is also the first one the first one was shot outside of Dallas, right? This one's shot outside of Houston.
Yeah.
So they once again went with Texas.
Well, there's a lot of guns in Texas. So.
That's true. Oh, damn.
They just had to go. Oh.
This kid was not playing around.
Man. Oh. My goodness. That is Galen Gorg. Its actual name? Look, no offense here to Mr. Tom Noonan, but dude, this is your villain. This guy, Chris, I don't know.
Yeah,
he's losing his hair.
As Red Foreman. Well, I mean, I think they wanted to kind of go with that look because the I'm slipping on the character's name, but how beloved the main. Well, not the main bad guy, because the leader of the corporation is technically the main bad guy, but the main villain, the one that RoboCop has the most interactions with in the first film, was also involved. So I think they were just following. I
guess he just looks like, you know what? He looks like a guy that's in between jobs that had to move back in with his sister and live in like her garage. That's what he looks like.
He's wearing a kimono.
Well. That makes him a villain.
He does look like one of the villains from like that terrible Punisher film. And
oh, he does. The movie had Louis Gossett Jr. in it, man. Like, Louis Gossett Jr. made that movie and said, my God, what have I got myself into? I just never forget Dolph Lundgren in the sewer, naked in the sewer, going, why, God, why? Right?
I liked that movie a lot as a kid, and I have no idea why. Because it's going back and watching it as an adult is not a good movie.
Look, as a kid, I knew it was crap because I was a comic book guy. But, like, I loved it because it was all I had, right? We settled. We settled for what we could get, and that was all we could get of the Punisher besides the cartoon. That new must just be awesome stuff. Good Lord. Hey. Look, Alex Murphy's still in there. Don't put it in his special place. There may still be some of him left, man. Just saying. There went one leg.
Piece by piece.
Oh. Boy, this gang did what nobody in that first movie could do. Like, they got him, boy.
Well, they had a few more years to prepare for what
that's fair.
RoboCop come.
Oh, look at that.
It's pretty cool.
Oh. I mean, he should be scary. This is actually not bad, Chris.
Yeah.
He shouldn't look real right here. He should look, that's not bad.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Tacos. I don't know.
She knows every inch of him, Tom.
I'm saying. Inch. She got love for him. Well, good. He's minimal life. I mean, you don't need much support. He's practically dead.
To be fair, if he didn't break all police protocol by not calling for backup in this situation and walking into a room with like 50 people.
Yeah. That's Robert Dequoy as Sergeant Warren Reed. We never credited him earlier.
So this becomes a problem of the financial situation of OCP no longer being involved in the police department. So they do not have the money to pay to fix RoboCop.
Very good. Yeah. Yeah, he's in bad shape, man. Bad guys be celebrating.
This cop's an idiot. He's gunning it. Yeah.
Oh, uh-oh.
Now they're going to harvest his organ. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't remember what happens in this scene.
If you were going to harvest organs, that'd be the kind of place you'd do it in. It looks like an organ harvesting establishment to me. Got that. Look at that. Look at that dime store Jerry Reed pushing that bed in there. Come on, man.
That's
what that is.
That'd have been great.
Just saying.
We saw his work as a great villain in the film Gator.
Gator. Available in the archives, children. Go check it out. Our review of Gator. Well, this guy's up to no good, I'll say. Yeah, look, I'm sorry. I'm not down with this Kane, guys. This is terrible. Again, this is the best you could do. Come on. You know, I know that guy. He looks familiar, but I can't place who it is. The guy with the scalp.
Yeah, his face looks familiar to me too, but I can't. Maybe it's the cigarette smoking man from X Files. I'm kidding. So I guess they are going to harvest his organs. I don't remember anything about this scene.
I remember this being vicious. Yep. Oh, wow. Even that little monster kid looked away. You know it had to be bad. Look at Kane getting all aroused and stuff. Great villain comeback, by the way. It's a great villain comeback.
He does make a great point. He does look very scared.
Just saying. That's how you make a villain comeback. So this is Belinda Bauer, if we didn't say it, Dr. Juliet Fax, 2 X's, a psychologist working for OCP. Look at those wanted pictures. That's great stuff. The tiny container that held the drug nuke was actually a saline remoisturizer for contact lens wearers in the late 1980s and early 1990s. The solution was dyed red and in some shots had a small needle sticking out after someone removes the covering.
Yeah, that's kind of what we just saw with Kane, right? Using the nuke in the scene where RoboCop's face is flicker. I guess his vision is flickering.
Mm-hmm. This is Felton Perry as Donald Johnson, in case we haven't mentioned his name. Boy, Felton Perry's done some stuff, buddy. Let me tell you. Yeah. Sudden Death, A Towering Inferno, Magnum Force, Walking Tall. Yeah.
So apparently they installed a fan inside of the suit to try to help cool Weller off.
Wow.
That's how how much he was overheating. They had to take the suit apart and put it back together. I was surprised that he signed up to do the second one, honestly.
Yeah,
I wonder
same.
what the payday was like. Because I'm sure that if they didn't want to pay him what he wanted, they would have just replaced it because it's a robotical cop, right? Like that's definitely what they would do now. They would just be like, oh, we'll just make a different RoboCop. It's fine.
Yeah. Who was the old man's lady friend just now? I don't know if we know.
The
the thing stood out and said system failure, just out of the blue. You think?
So funny thing about the OCP tower is that it was actually Enron's headquarters.
Oh, that's wonderful. Ugh.
Which is really funny coming after all of the Enron things that happened later on in the late 90s.
You think it was like the Gremlins movie where it predicted the bad stuff, right?
Yeah. So some of the things in the script that were removed, looking more into this now, is originally the script included multiple failed RoboCop prototypes. So this wasn't like, to answer your question where you were talking about why haven't they made another one? Well, they tried to make other RoboCops, apparently. One of which commits suicide in the test lab.
Ah, well, yeah.
So there's some way darker.
I think we were talking over that bit, but yeah, it was. Wow. And then it ripped the helmet off and it's all like underneath, right?
Well, I think that's a different OCP technology because that's kind of what Kane mutates into later. Yeah, but it goes into it's more into OCP trying to erase all of the humanity of all of these RoboCops that they're trying to create.
Mm-hmm.
And then some additional information here. Kirshner just didn't like this film at all because of the producers the editing process that it went through.
By the way, you might have this in front of you too. Cadso recalled that Kirshner literally ripped pages from the script every morning, calling it awful, while Frank Miller just sat there watching.
No, I didn't have that. That's funny though.
Now I just want to imagine Kirshner staring at Miller as he did it, going, awful, awful, terrible, right? Dude. That's vicious, man.
I'm going to go read the comic books because I'm wondering how much. I know that they tied some of that, more of the dark stuff, into the game.
Yeah.
And I'm curious how that holds up since the comic came out in 2003. So you got a good time gap there between the film and when the comic was actually released.
To your point, Weller had to be persuaded to return because he hated working in the suit. Now, these days, all you need to do is just wear the chest piece. CGI take care of the rest. Honestly, nobody even know the difference. Like, Downey was wearing the shell of the Iron Man suit. He had the chest piece and the arms and part of the legs, but the rest of it was CG, and you can't tell a difference at all. Like, the practical effects, the practical suit that he's wearing mixed with CGI is fantastic.
I mean, even if they wanted to do a practical suit, they could do it out of something lighter like carbon fiber now.
Yeah, true.
And then just make it look however they wanted it to look in post.
Script went through constant rewrites, with the actors often receiving their lines only 10 minutes before their scenes were due to be shot. That sounds like Bischoff era booking for WCW to me. Like, what are we doing tonight, boss? I don't know. Go say this. All right.
This movie also originally received the rated X.
It did.
Due to its excessive violence.
Yeah. Why was I thinking that was part 3?
Part 3 is the most kid friendly because they had already released the RoboCop cartoon at that point, and it kind of goes full. That's the one with the jetpacks and such.
I got it backwards. Wow. He's like, "You're pretty." I don't know. I just want to go around doing the voice now. I don't know why it's popping me as much as it is. It's funny. Don't flip that switch. I'll kill everybody in here. By the way, she's sticking her face way up in his face right now, kids. And smiling. And now we got the corridor. Doc's running down the hallway, or she's trying to, and the place is sick with perps. There's perps everywhere. Upset citizens. There's RoboCop standing there. And there you go, kids. There's your marker. Look at me. I'm sexy. Look at that. Man, props to Weller, dude. Look at that. Yeah. Wow. Well
we have
done.
Like way less. I feel like we're getting way less of Murphy the human in this movie.
Yeah.
Than I remember. And that, like, a lot of the jokes are, I don't want to say corny, but not cartoonish, maybe, I guess is a better, they don't really land the same way the first movie did for me.
You betcha. Jesus. Look at these little kids stealing this money, man. Oh! Holy Lord, this place is, I'm telling you right now, this version of Detroit, look at the coach is like even doing it. He's like, hey kids, get in there and beat that old man up. We're taking it all. Look at that little girl.
The Warriors just popped up in my head.
Yeah. The coach has a gun. Wow.
It's Robo. That's what they call him on the streets.
Oh, well, there you go.
It's Robo.
Hey, you want to do something? What? Oh. I was thinking about tacos. I don't remember this at all. Holy Lord, I do not remember this.
He's still damaged is the thing going on here, right?
Yeah. I think we should talk. Oh! Not talking now. That little kid. I'm taking my radio and getting out of here.
That's great.
They're just hanging out.
I like this microwave box too, and the big micro to go.
Those kids are terrified. We were just fooling. We were just fooling around, officer. God. What? Oh, wow. I have no memory of this at all. Look at him.
No, me either. And I can't remember if the psychiatrist, like, at the police station messed with his programming or something. I feel like there's something else here that I'm not remembering.
Yeah. I haven't finished. I'm like truly watching the movie now. Like before we were just talking, but now I'm really watching.
Yeah, I mean, it like kind of picked up a little bit, and this is all stuff that I don't remember about this movie. Like I don't recall any of this. It just gets weird.
How dare you turn on this hydrant? I'll kill everyone here.
That'd be fun.
Like, wait a minute, stop. This is just water.
That's what was in Miller's original script.
Yeah. Oh. What?
Wow.
God.
For those who missed it, this child just told RoboCop to go procreate with a refrigerator.
He did, indeed.
And they spray painted kicked me on the back.
Wonderful. By the way, how does spray paint stick to that body? Like, you mean to tell me they got all this tech, but they... Oh, my goodness! Totally forgot that. All this tech, but they can't create armor that spray paint won't stick to. Right?
You can look at the objective that someone changed all of his. Okay, so yeah, that is what happened. I forgot.
By the way, I've got a list of directives, and they're not all of them. Directive 273, avoid stereotyping. That's a good directive. Directive 278, seek nonviolent solutions. Let's see. Directive 249, don't be oversensitive to the hostility and negativity of others. These are great.
I wonder if anyone has like these listed. Did you find a list of these?
I did. Directive 236, promote pro-social values. This is a socially aware RoboCop.
half the police force is on strike here, I'm assuming?
Yes, they are. We didn't even mention that, did we? The sign should say, "We're tired of getting shot."
Well, I didn't remember that they were on strike. I just saw that like they threw RoboCop's body in front of the building.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he's going to electrocute himself because they won't do it. Bold choice, RoboCop. He just shuts out the power for the entire city.
Yeah. All it's the chaos, even more than before. All the people go hungry and the whole city dies. It's like Mad Max. Way to go, RoboCop. Or Robo, as you're known on the street.
Is Wood not conductive? Wouldn't she have gotten electricity? I guess it's not.
I don't think Wood's conductive. You're the computer guy. I would expect you to know this fact.
I don't know. I'm bad at science.
Oh my God, are you really?
Yeah. Like
that's great.
Unless it's like related to like Pokemon type weaknesses. I'm not. Let's see.
Don't drop me. Don't drop me. Ow. I just want the whole movie to be him talking now. I suddenly just want that. Oh. List directives. No directives found. Uh-oh.
Electricity does not typically travel through wood because it's generally considered an insulator.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
With a high voltage, it is possible to send electricity through wood, which in this case, she would have gotten shocked. As well.
You realize we're just halfway through this film? We're gonna be here. We're gonna be here for days, man. You kidding me?
2-hour runtime, man.
I'm saying. By the way, kids, feel free to pause your movie and the podcast and go to the restroom if you need to, because we're having to watch this friggin' guy play Kane, and he looks friggin' terrible.
I do like the creepy ponytail mustache.
I'm sorry. This looks like
the ponytail rat tail thing.
This looks like a hippie got arrested for jaywalking. I don't know. Like, it's terrible. He got fired for smoking weed in the back room at Dunkin' Donuts. That's what he looks like.
This guy kind of looks like Martin Short.
I was thinking John Lennon. That's what I was thinking.
I can see that too.
And they're all following this idiot. Isn't that always the way? Everyone follows the clown. Gee, that's a statement, isn't it there, Chris?
Yeah, that's saying something.
I'm just saying.
He definitely comes off more as like a cult leader than like a drug lord bad guy.
That's fair.
Like, very different than what we had in the first film.
Yeah.
But it's not really fair because, like, I don't know. The villain in the first film is just so great.
I want more John Glover with a Magnavolt system. That's what I want. We need more Magnavolt here.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a good We haven't gotten another good commercial.
Movie doesn't have no commercials.
Unfortunately,
we can all agree on that.
Yeah, don't know if I would buy this for $1.
I think the yeah. I think the RoboCop, the suit's missing a few things. Wheels. There's no wheels on the RoboCop, which is
doesn't need
unfortunate.
them by the third movie. He gets a jetpack.
That's true. Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, Clarence Boddicker was just such an iconic villain in the first film that they just kind of. I mean, you do get Katzo here.
I just saw Dollar Store Jerry Reed. I just saw him. Now, let me tell you there, boy. Yeah, it's not quite the same.
Do you ever rock a bolo tie, Tom?
I have never rocked a bolo. I rock a regular tie, but not a bolo tie.
I don't think I've ever worn a bolo.
And never worn a bow tie either. Wait, when I got married, I wore a bow tie because that's what you do.
I think I wore a normal tie. Yeah, I wore a normal tie.
Did you?
I wore a bow tie to prom one year.
I didn't go to my prom. I was not in demand by the ladies in my younger days. Now they can't get enough of me.
Yeah, that's true.
I
hear tell.
You heard right. No. Look at that gun. What does that kid have?
I think it's just like another submachine gun, just spray painted blue. Yeah.
It's the kiddie version is what it is. You know, it's got colorful, the royal blue on it.
I mean, she's got a shotgun with a giant silencer on it. The most impressive thing is this like solid steel pharmaceutical truck.
No kidding.
Yeah, you guys are not concerned at all with this thing being rigged to blow.
No.
This is a very impressive chemical lab to be inside of just a storage container, honestly.
And to be owned by bad guys, right?
Yeah.
Usually bad guys don't have this kind of funding. I believe if I were that doc, I'd run up out of there.
Yeah.
I think they should have made RoboCop a time traveling hero and put him like drop him in the old west and stuff. He could like have like solve mysteries like in England and the England and the
that would be very Star Trek of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
this week on the RoboCop mysteries. One of you here is the killer. I don't know.
RoboCop kind of does some dumb things.
Oh, like, shoot. That stuntman barely got out the way, dude. You see that?
Get close, brother.
He does, yeah. Oh, look at that. Ow. Ow. Nah. I just want him to die because he's such a bad villain. It was worth it just for the sound effect, dude.
I like the motorcycle gang just decided to use RoboCop as a for no reason.
This is what RoboCop's been missing, is a hog. That's what he's been missing. Now he's got him one.
He should call in his good. He needs like backup. He should call Sting.
Call Sting. We haven't made one WCW joke the whole time.
Had to.
Me and my good buddy Sting are fighting crime.
You would think that this motorcycle, there's no way that this motorcycle being a Harley would be anywhere near fast enough to catch up with this truck at this point.
Yeah.
Simply because RoboCop has to weigh like a ton.
He would pop the tires, technically speaking. Why doesn't he pop the tires in a car? That's a good point. How are all those cops? I don't care if it's 10 cops. How much do you think this dude weighs?
He's got to like be like 500 pounds, right?
At least.
Even if it's like just some kind of alloy or like he has to be the same weight of that motorcycle.
Yeah.
So it would be the speed of the motorcycle would be halved if you think about it, you know.
This week on my 500-pound cop life. I don't know.
So by capturing the nuke money, the city won't go bankrupt, I guess, is the story here.
The Nuke Lord. They call him the Nuke Lord.
Finally,
the Nuke Lord.
Commercial.
Thank goodness.
Ever since we've lost the ozone layer.
This is like 5,000. Look at that.
Yeah, this is kind of just too real to laugh at this point.
Yeah, no kidding. God, what's in that? The ozone will get, well, hello. If the lack of ozone won't get you, the sunblock will. I'm saying. Look.
Search frequent use will cause skin cancer.
That's great. Of court-martialed Amazon war. There was a war in the Amazon, apparently. He was court-martialed because he wasn't doing it right, I guess.
How is he out of jail? It says 6 convictions of murder.
I don't know. He got paroled and moved into his sister's basement. He's the worst-looking villain I think we've ever had on the show. This is terrible.
Yeah, definitely not even the best, like one of the worst bald villains we've had on the show.
Yes.
He's he's no Gids.
No, nothing about him says villain.
Let's see. He's definitely no Alan Rickman, that's for sure.
No one is. Mr. McLean.
I like when he does the American accent. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
As you guys can tell, it has gotten a lot darker here. So I am going to turn on the light in this movie. So do not be surprised when it gets a lot brighter here in just a second.
Time stands still in my office. I'm in a cave in the middle of a building with no windows or doors anywhere. Or, yeah.
I was using natural sunlight, but this movie is longer than I remembered.
Yes. So, kids, here's your marker. She's shooting up with the nuke. I guess we'll call it shooting up. She's putting the nuke up in her neck. The nuke is in her neck now. So there you go.
Let's see if I can adjust this in a way that... There we go.
So, kids, welcome to hour 12 of our RoboCop 2 coverage. This is Tom with Tom Clark's Exit Podcast and my host, Chris Patton. We hope you're enjoying the ride and have... properly hydrated yourself. So there's that clown in the bed. Look at him. Even beat up, he looks stupid.
He's looking rough, that's for sure.
Yeah, heck with this guy, man. By the way, you got this Detroit, again, that can do all this stuff, and the phones still have cords. Like, did no one think about this stuff? I guess not. We're making armored cop dudes, but let's just say that our phones don't have cords in this. How about, I don't care.
So Fax is killing this guy to do an experiment on him, essentially.
Yeah. We've only got 5 minutes till what? He's dead, isn't he?
They're taking his brain, harvesting his brain. This is where he becomes the Super Shredder character in the film.
Mm-hmm. RoboCane. This is like Kit versus Car in Knight Rider. Do you know what I mean? That's what this is.
This movie has a severe lack of Ed 209.
Yes.
Ed 209 looks way cooler than what
just shooting stuff up.
What this ends up looking like.
Oh, I could not believe how bad this looked, by the way, when it was done. Not at all what I thought.
Well, like, why would they not just make a second RoboCop?
Thank you.
Like, with a different color or like a different colorway.
Black armor with an eye patch. Something that's like a peg leg. You know what I mean? Like he's a pirate. He's a pirate cop. I don't know.
They just go like the God, what is that movie, that Frank Rodriguez movie called? Like they go Planet Terror, and they just give him a gun for a leg.
Dude. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I mean, I get it. That's probably just like a Tupperware bowl, but still, that's pretty heinous. Oh. Rated X, I'd say.
Well, this is after they cut it out. So they pulled out, this is kind of creepy looking. It's the eyes, the whole spinal column.
Oh, don't make me look at it. Yep.
I kind of want a lamp that's just that.
It's just that. Whenever we go around the room, the eyes follow you, right? Like a painting.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Oh, no.
I forgot that you're like you're kind of squeamish and don't do horror films. Like this is not that crazy.
Yeah, a little bit. I just wanted that doctor to go, look at your face. Look at it. Look at it.
PBS got weird.
It did. They really need the money. I'm just saying. They're hard up, dude.
So this has to be a real guy that can do this, though, right?
I would say, yeah.
I don't know about the actual playing of the violin piece of it, but this is still impressive that this guy is able to contort his body in this manner.
He's playing Born to Be Wild.
This isn't even PBS. This is just them trying to.
There's that guy back.
City.
Yeah. That was great.
I just can't do the dump ketchup all over your fries thing.
I can't either.
I like it. I want to dip.
Yeah, same.
So that I get like kind of the same amount of ketchup on each fry.
Yeah.
Just do like. Sorry, that has no relation to this film at all, other than that kid just did that. But
no, I was thinking the same thing. Actually, I don't eat them like that either.
Also, I hate that they switched to these like plastic dipping cups for ketchup because I feel like they really limit how much they give you now at places.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Wendy's is the worst offender of this. They'll try to give you like 1 cup for like an extra large fry and nuggets.
How many times you go through a drive-thru and have to ask for ketchup and they look at you like you just slapped their mom or something? Like, dude, you just handed me fries and I had to ask, oh, you want ketchup? Really? Like, dude, put ketchup in my bag, man. Like,
yeah, it's I don't know. They're saving what, like 2 cents by doing that?
Yeah.
By not giving you ketchup?
Dude, if all you do is give me 2, I'll make 2 straight. I'll do what I can. 4 is wonderful, but if all you give me is 2, it is what it is. But give me something.
I mean, when you know the markup of how much like they make off a soft drink, for instance, it's like you should just give me as much ketchup as I want with no questions asked.
Thank you. Miniature stop-motion models of RoboCop 2, RoboCane, were used for most of the shots. 8 separate miniature teams had to work around the clock to meet the tight production schedule. For close-ups, a full-size head and torso were built, weighing almost 800 pounds. It was operated with long poles attached to the areas that had to move by operators who were dressed in all black so that they would not show up on screen. Makes sense.
I'm assuming that most of RoboCop's suit is actually like a fiberglass.
I think so. See this right here? Yeah. It's fine. This weird Max Headroom stuff. You get that reference, good on you.
Fiberglass, foam, latex, and rubber, metallic paint finish, hydraulic sound effects. They were added. That was added. Cooling system added in RoboCop 2 due to overheating issues in the first film.
Oh, look at that.
The suit was 25 to 30 pounds. Which is not as crazy as Peter Weller tries to make it out to be. I'm sure it was hot and uncomfortable, but he makes it out to sound like it weighed like 200 pounds. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is not going to be good.
This does not bode well. I agree with this. I don't like
it. With this gentleman.
Get out of there while you can.
Let's all leave. Yeah.
I would also say maybe don't take a limo into straight dirt field.
Yeah, why'd you get through there to begin with?
No reason. I don't know what shortcut you guys were trying to take there.
Yeah, this doesn't look like it's going to end well. I like that guy a lot. I don't have his name. Did we ever get this guy's name? I like to at least give the actor credit. I tell you, my captions are killing me here.
I will pull that up. This movie is like, it's a lot harder to find. Like, their IMDb on this film is just not on
Not great
to find kind of character information or who these actors were.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing. Let's see. Yeah, wow. Is he the mayor?
I believe he is.
Willard E. Pugh. Yeah, that's him. He's the mayor.
Yeah.
Mayor Cusack. He said, why do you have to label people?
Yeah. For anyone wanting to know anything about this movie, go to the Robo Wiki or the RoboCop Wiki, because that's the only place I've found reliable full listing of the cast.
Wow. There again, I don't understand the let's cast a child as, I don't know. I like how they all dressed up for this, even her. She did her hair, you know what I mean? They all had to get like, it's like villain chic.
Yeah. So this is going to be kind of crazy because like the idea is they're going to create another, like, I don't understand like what the idea is. He's going to take down all of the other drug dealers so that you only have Nuke by introducing this other cop that they made out of Kane, I'm assuming. Yeah. But that seems like a very convoluted plan.
I agree. Yeah.
Like, even for a comic book villain, this is a very convoluted, or James Bond villain, this is a very convoluted plan.
Oh, this is so bad. If this thing weren't stop motion and it was just like if this were CG, this thing would look awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that stop motion's killing it for me.
I see. I don't even think the stop motion looks that bad. I think it's more just like the design in general. Like, I just don't like the design of it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look as cool as Ed 209.
That's true.
Because Ed 209, most of its scenes were stop motion as well. And while they do look kind of cheesy or hokey or whatever, I mean, it's a movie about a robot cop.
Yeah.
I can do with a little cheese.
Oh, yeah. It's not a whole sandwich, man. You know what I mean? Some cheese crackers is fine, but a whole sandwich, now you're losing me.
Sorry about that. I hit the mic with my seltzer water there.
No worries. Like Batman 66 is a whole cheese sandwich. You know what I mean? Like the whole show. Big cheese sandwich. I'm going to be so hungry after this. But it's going to, when we're done, it's going to be like 3 a.m. It's going to be too late to eat.
It smells like my wife is cooking a curry of some kind downstairs. So
Oh, wow.
I'm excited for that after this because I much like you, I just jumped right on here after work. I did not eat. So.
Me neither. Just go have dinner. You'll have time. Come back. It won't be over yet.
Have a sandwich. You could still hear it.
Yes. The RoboCop 2 marathon continues. It's just one movie. Oh, stay down. Know when to stay down. Oh, he got you. If the first 4 shots didn't get you, the next 4 will. I promise you.
It's incredible that the mayor is somehow still alive.
And the little kid.
Well, he's not after the little kid, is he?
Well, I guess not.
It's been so long since I've seen this. Yeah, so you can see that his controls look different.
Yeah, the little skull. Yeah, this was the apple. Remember? This is the apple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of an apple, it's a skull. Hey, baby. I don't know what this guy would sound like now.
I wonder what version of like Ubuntu that was that they were running for.
Oh, no. Tell me that my face isn't going to pop up. Oh, shoot, it is.
So lame.
Oh, no. Hey, baby. Say it. I dare you. Ah, crap. Uh-oh. I don't think he bought it.
Macintosh System 6 operating system.
Mm.
So they didn't actually use that. They just used all of the elements. So like the windows, the font, the icons, they stole all of that stuff and they just added a little bit of stylistic stuff. I didn't realize that they referred to this guy as RoboCane. You said it earlier, and I thought that you just made that like off the rip. It's been a long time. I think I've seen 3 more than this now that I was confusing the 2 in my head.
I've seen 1 way more than I've seen this one. I don't remember anything about 3.
Well, like RoboCop 1, I watch like once a year. So I've seen that one way more often than this. This one for sure.
Oh, this is... Uh-oh. Oh!
That's pretty cool.
Something tells me that it didn't work out. She called him Kane. That's his name, man. How are you going to get mad at that? Ooh. Oh!
So the kid smartly has locked himself into a armored truck. The mayor, unfortunately, I do not think is going to be as lucky here.
But we haven't got the scene yet of him jumping out and saying that thing's a killer. So he must get out of this, right?
Right.
Oh, uh-oh. Oh!
I was very lucky that there was an aqueduct there.
I just want to see it rattling down the pipe after him. Yeah.
I think that's the thing. He can't fit down the hole, right?
He can't fit down the hole. Come on. Yeah, this is pretty bad, dude.
This one definitely does not hold up as well as the first one.
I know. This movie needed Sting. We didn't get Sting.
No Sting.
That's the problem. No Sting in this movie.
He's the man that called Stang.
Yep.
Honestly, as corny as some of this movie has been, like Sting having a guest appearance wouldn't have been the most terrible thing in the world.
No. Here's something good. Belinda Bauer, who played Dr. Fax, later went on to earn a doctorate in psychology in real life.
That is very interesting.
Imagine being her patient, recognizing her like, I think I'm in the wrong office.
You're just constant in fear that she's going to turn you into the Robo version of yourself.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Robo-Tom.
Robo-Tom. Oh, he got him after all.
No, he's faking.
Oh. Then he punches him.
Or did he get shot? Maybe. I think this is a trap.
Still? Man.
Do you use one of your life scan things, RoboCop? Huh. I'm gonna die.
Oh, I don't remember any of this. Yeah, he's gone. That little pinky ring.
I think he died. I thought it was a trap for sure.
That's right.
This
Kane shot through the truck.
This looks like an old episode of Cops.
Does.
He did, but it's an armored truck.
I don't know what's going on.
I guess that was the show that he could shoot through RoboCop, technically, probably.
I guess so. Alan Moore was originally offered the chance to write the film, but turned it down. Can you imagine Alan Moore written RoboCop 2 movie?
That would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why he didn't want to take the chance on it.
By the way, we talk and my volume's low. I'm sure yours is. Both Kane and the old man have scenes where they say they're going to make the phrase "Made in America" mean something again. I'm just saying. This went to development 3 weeks after the release of the first film. Did you know that?
No.
I had no idea.
That's kind of crazy because the first film made $52 million on a $13 million budget. So they must have cleared the original budget by like double the first couple of weekends then if they decide they already ramped into a sequel.
The first one was in 87. And the budget was 13.7 and it made 53.4.
Yeah, I saw those numbers earlier, but like if they went into development like 3 weeks after, by release, do they mean the release on VHS or the theatrical release?
I think theatrical release. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to think. I wonder how much I could probably look it up, but I'm assuming that this movie made, just because of the time, that this movie actually made way more money on VHS than it did in the box office.
Good, yeah.
For rentals and purchases.
Oh, here we go, kids. Get ready for the mayor. It's in the video opening to the video version of this podcast, and I'll release it at some point. I don't think I'm releasing it tomorrow, but it's great, and I had to put it in the opening of the video. You know, in a movie where the hero is a robot and all the bad guys are like soft-spoken and robotic, this mayor is like the best actor in this whole movie.
That's a good call.
You know what I mean? He's the only one showing any kind of emotion at all.
We don't have enough of Murphy's partner in this movie either. I mean, she's here or there, but she was a big part of the first film.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's been like in a few scenes here or there, but their relationship's not as important as it was in the first film.
Yeah, it's not as relevant. That's weird. Sit down, come on. Hey, up in the front, sit down. That was terrible.
Did you ever notice the OCP logo? I may have said this on the first one, but the OCP logo kind of looks like the Canon film logo.
It does, actually, yeah.
Which is just known for their quality, talking about Death Wish earlier.
No kidding.
It might have been before the show where we were talking about that.
I think it was. Look at this thing. RoboCop 2, that's pretty ingenious. Pretty inventive. Wait for it, kids. Wait for it. And look, he just walks in. Hey.
RoboCop just walks in with a sniper rifle.
Hey. It woke him up.
I like he's like Godzilla-ing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he has a nuke addiction. So.
Oh, that's right. Uh-oh. Gimme. Gimme. Gimme.
That did look very comical. Like
it's terrible. Yeah. Can't reach it.
Oh, it's obsolete.
There we go. That thing is a killer.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you done did it now. Watch it push that tiny little button. And then crunch it. I want that mayor to live. I want this mayor to become president in this universe. That old man's got it coming.
Not the TV cameras.
I mean, he's shooting bullets. We assume the thing is shooting bullets. It will run out of bullets at some point, but the question is, how many rounds can that thing hold?
Well, the other question is, would you want to be shooting this when it definitely has like the nuclear logo on it?
Behave yourselves. That's an excellent point, by the way. Why does he even have the nuclear logo on it?
I thought it was if he's got like a fusion core or something and you're shooting at it. I don't know what that's going to do to this building.
No kidding. To the city, even. RoboCop's like, hey, all right. Like his arms up. That was like Rock'em Sock'em, man.
It was very Go-Go Gadget arm.
It was. Oh my God. It was great. This friggin' movie still got 20 minutes left. I swear to God.
Hopefully, like 15 of that is credits.
One can only hope.
We kind of joked about the limited nature of Ed 209 in the first film after all of the build-up, but based on all of the stop motion, I think that it was well done.
Yes, we may have been too hard on it.
I find myself missing Ed.
I miss Ed immensely. Look, and now it's going down the bottom of the elevator shaft, kids. But it stopped itself because, of course, it did.
It's got spider claws.
And look, hey, remember, this is the version of the movie that got into theaters.
Right.
Like, what version didn't get into theaters, man? Like, you mean it was not as good as this?
The one where they're praying to skeleton Elvis. As a fact.
I would have took the skeleton Elvis, like, all zombified and turned into a RoboCop. That'd have been awesome.
If only RoboCop had jetpacks.
If only. You know, I had to say, by the way, not crazy about the music in this movie either. This sounds like generic 80s TV music to me. Like, it's not. I've noticed it earlier and I didn't comment. Is that you know what I thought that was?
What?
Remember the whistle sound effect of like the Acme was it Warner Brothers characters hitting the ground?
Oh, it's like the slide whistle or whatever?
Yes. Oh my God. And we all know that thing ain't gone. Come on. How much more beat can this RoboCop dude take?
I mean, unless he rode the other thing all the way down, he would be pretty damaged as well.
I'd say. Oh, here we go. Gotcha. Oh, that was not great. That's okay. Oh, that's not great either. Oh my, that's really bad. Well, you know what, Chris? They're doing what they can. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was not good.
Why did they decide to give this thing a plasma cutter?
Yeah. Like, you know, he might need to open a can for some reason.
Oh, yes.
Cut his way out of a predicament.
I like that they didn't make the evolutionary steps that like Terminator 2 did. Like they could have done the liquid android to face RoboCop.
Yeah. You know what's funny is they went backwards kind of.
Yeah.
Like, this is the best version of the tech they're ever going to have is him. And the other versions are crap. Like, it's the Captain America problem.
At least that 209 looked cool.
Well, that's true. Like, the super soldier serum only worked on Steve Rogers. It didn't really work for anybody else, at least in the movies. Like, oh.
I like that the OCP just like went with this thing. They always do this. They don't ever test.
They never test anything.
They're just like, whatever. Let's demonstrate this to the public.
Yeah, load it up with bullets. It'll be fine.
This could make the OCP look bad. Yeah, no. No joke.
Look, I think you passed bad about 5 years back, dude. I'm just saying, like, if this is going to be the deal breaker, I don't know what to tell you. At this point, I'm just going to go for my pension. I'm walking away. Like, I'm not. The writing's on the wall. I can't do anything here.
I mean, at this point, you would think the American military would like show up, like the National Guard or something.
Really? Yeah. Where's the military? They spent on the budget on the miniatures. That's what happened. Nope. They kept looking for him. Nope. 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 Can't see him. Where is he? I shouldn't have made those taco jokes. I'm really hungry. I gotta get some food, man. I have to pack a lunch next time we do this.
It's like every time I watch like a Sonic related thing and he's talking about chili dogs, and I'm like, I gotta go to Sonic later.
Yeah.
And get
I had chili dogs 2 days ago, actually.
It's fresh on my brain because I watched Sonic 3 over the weekend.
Oh, I see.
I'm kind of craving a chili dog.
I know what I'm doing. I don't really do fast food anymore.
I don't blame you. I've been trying not to recently. I've also cut out beer, so I've been a good boy lately.
Well done. Are you on to like wine coolers and is the Uncle Buck thing where you're stepping down like gradually?
No,
I gave up cigarettes, and she's like, "Did you?" It's like, "Yeah, I went from cigarettes. I'm on to cigars now. Cigars to pipes, to chewing tobacco, to nicotine gum. And I'll be good."
I kind of wish we were watching that instead of this.
Next time, Uncle Buck. We haven't done that here. Have we done Uncle Buck here?
I don't think so. I'd have to look through your archives.
Dude, I had to look through my archives. My show is 5 years old, and I don't remember anything. It's all a blur to me, dude.
Uncle Buck's a fun one. We just watched that over the holidays. The wife
Oh, of course. Yeah. We have not done Uncle Buck. Aha! I'm not dead yet.
I like this is like
freak.
This is the decision they went with. Like, so here's the problem with the end sequence being this giant robot versus robot thing again, is they showed that humans can beat RoboCop earlier in the film.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need another robot to beat RoboCop. You just needed a giant magnet and some jackhammers.
A giant magnet and some jackhammers. It's true.
They killed the gimmick, brother. Like,
they killed the gimmick. Yeah.
Halfway through the movie.
By the way, did you note the red OCP banner looking like a swastika banner behind them? That was kind of.
I think that's definitely what they're going, or a communist party type thing.
Yeah. I'm guessing this is.
He can inject nuke into his little. Where his penis goes. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah. Ah.
Spider-Man RoboCop.
Feels amazing. I don't know.
I will say,
this chick, man.
Unlike Ed 209, this version of RoboCane can go upstairs, as we saw earlier.
Oh.
So,
man, I really want him to grab onto the back of the neck and do one arm like he's on a bull. I really want that now. And he made it for 6 seconds. New champion. All right. Really thought that bull riding joke get a little bit more of a pop, Chris. I'm a little upset.
Sorry, I was checking out the stop motion of this thing. I did
it's not getting better. Come on.
When he rolled over, he did use his feet claws to like stop himself, which was kind of cool.
Oh my.
I mean, to be fair, my brain's kind of fried just because of this movie's not that good. He's ripped out his brain and spinal column.
Oh, we got to see the digital display of his face going, no!
Goodbye.
Oh.
Got him.
Oh, just turn the freaking thing off. Oh.
I don't know how that would work. Like, he's no longer connected to the machine.
Just fall over. Please just fall over.
The other thing is, how does it see? Because it has that thing that covers up the screen. So RoboCop has human eyes.
Dude, with the walking. I swear to God, what is it with the walking? Look at him.
They have to constantly walk down halls.
I mean, look at the hands. Every time we see him. I mean, we know why the guy with the glasses is walking like that. He's kissing up to the boss.
So Felton Perry, the guy on the left, the actor on the left, he was in the first RoboCop. He's in all three. He's one of the few in all three, and he was also in the film Walking Tall, the original.
Oh yeah, yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, and we never called out Jeff McCarthy as Holzgang. Is that Holzgang?
I don't. Maybe
I don't know. Maybe I think
your
it's
pronunciation's just as good as mine on that.
Holzgang. Are you sure about that?
Is that like his daughter? Is that the plot twist here?
I don't think so. Is it?
I don't know.
She's like, see, I done got away with it.
I mean, honestly, wouldn't they want to just that? Like I said, wouldn't you just take the RoboCop design you have now and just make it evil?
Why wouldn't you just take the RoboCop design you have now and just make it evil?
And make like
I think it
like
never
50,
happened.
Make like 50 of them.
Yes. Yes.
That monster
Look at
was
him.
crazy. How did this happen?
Look at the guy. I can't get over the walking. I swear to God, I can't get over it.
It's like when I was a kid, I hated William Regal in WCW because he always did that thing where he'd walk with his hand behind his back, just one hand.
Yeah.
I always got heel heat for me. I was like, why does he walk like that?
Murphy got. Yeah. I missed the last line. What did he say at the end?
I don't know.
He said patience, and then
he was screwing his helmet back on, whatever it was. I can tell you. Hold on.
My captioning's not working.
I can run it back.
Patience, Lewis.
Patience, Lewis. Yeah. We're only human.
Ah.
And then he's using a ratchet on his head.
Horrible ending. Terrible. This movie was not good. Well, there you have it, kids. Thanks for watching.
It did not hold up as well as I remembered. Like I said, it's been a long time since I saw the second one.
Yeah.
It wasn't awful. It's long. And like I said, they killed the gimmick midway through the movie, having normal humans be able to
be able to defeat him, yeah.
To the completely apart. And then like by the time he gets to fight the other giant robot, you're like, well, you know,
who cares?
yeah.
Who cares now? So if you watch all the way to the end, kids, you'll see Sam Jackson come in and recruit him for the Avengers. So
right,
yeah, but not him, the mayor. They want the mayor because he lived through the whole thing and he's a survivor. So
that he is.
That thing's a killer. That was worth the price of admission. Well, there you go, kids. There's RoboCop 2. I need a nap. I need food, and then I need a nap.
Same.
Man.
So next time they hear from us, we'll be watching the television
series.
Catch me on Twitch. I'll be playing through the video game in order. No, I'm kidding. I will not be doing that. I'm going to need a break from RoboCop for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe another year gap.
Maybe another year. Yeah. Did the right thing. Yeah.
I do know the third one is is not as grimy as not as violent as this one, and was more aimed towards kids because by then the cartoon had came out.
Yeah.
And they wanted to sell merchandise around it, and they tried to make it more family friendly to get more people in theaters for it, because this movie did not hit the expected numbers they were thinking, because it did not do as well as the first movie. So we'll see. Maybe we'll hit that RoboCop 3 next year. I remembered it being worse than this one, so
that's not a good sign. So I know we talked about this a year ago. Did you ever catch the reboot?
Yes, and I liked it for the most part.
I didn't hate it at all. Honestly,
the first one's just so good. Like I think they only needed one. That would have been good if that just like lived on forever as the only RoboCop.
I guess that reboot's not getting a sequel, right? Because they never went back to it. I thought the suit looked pretty cool. Can I be honest? I thought it was streamlined. You know what I mean? It wasn't
almost looked like
blocky.
A motorcycle suit.
Yeah.
As opposed to being. I kind of like the chunkiness of RoboCop.
Really?
You know, I like the more mechanical looking, because we're not still even today we're not there with robotics to the point of like these full human androids. So, I don't know. I didn't like it as much as I like the Judge Dredd film as far as reboots go.
Yeah, same for sure. Well, kids,
this MGM Plus is like it's recommending Vampire Kiss. Have you ever seen Vampire Kiss?
Wasn't that Jim Carrey's first movie, or Nicolas Cage?
It's Nicolas Cage famously losing his mind because he thinks he's becoming a vampire because he gets bitten by a bat.
Well, he to be fair loses his mind in most movies, dude. He has come back around in a big bad way. Like they're doing that Spider-Man noir with him, like the live action.
Yeah,
and he's in that movie with Pedro Pascal. That movie is great. If you have not seen that yet, it is so much fun.
Just scrolling through the list from left to right, another Orion banger shows up of Code of Silence starring Chuck Norris.
Norris.
They must have, like, I don't know if they acquired the Orion right, or like a lot of the film library or something, because I'm seeing a lot of those kind of films on this list now that I've watched RoboCop.
Well, I mean, we lost Norris, by the way. We lost him a long time ago.
Norris?
Yeah, and I don't mean death. I mean, you know.
Oh, I was like, he's still alive.
I don't know if we ever had him, but we've definitely lost him. So, yeah.
Got Death Wish 2 is on here, unrated version.
Hey.
So there's some more things we can unlock here.
Unlock. It's like different levels of a game.
Yeah.
Well,
they recommended this wrestling film for me called Below the Belt, which I have never seen.
I've never even heard. Who's in it?
Let's see here. More. Starring Regina Bath and John C. Beecher. A New York City waitress looking to escape her life ends up becoming a lady wrestler called the Mexican Spitfire and finds a whole new life on the Midwest grappling circuit.
Like, okay. Sure. I don't know.
I thought I've heard of like every wrestling movie. I'd never heard of that one.
I've never heard of that one.
Gonna have to check that out later. So anyways, you guys, that's what we've got recommended. I like to look at the recommendations after watching one of these to see what it thinks that I should watch next.
I was hoping for a food commercial because what's going to happen next for me is food. I may go waste money in a drive-through. So, well, you know, we'll circle back at some point. And, I mean, we just about, you know, we've never done any Van Damme movies here. There's probably a pretty good reason for that. But, yeah, I never done any Van Damme. I still would like to do The Expendables, which I can't seem to find anybody that enjoys watching The Expendables.
I've never seen them, so that would be I would be going into it with fresh eyes. I would not be against watching them.
Nothing about it makes sense, and nothing about it is awesome. But it is, and for me, it's not even, oh, it's 80s action hero nostalgia. I just dig it. I can't even tell you why. I don't know why. It's the camaraderie of the guys, the way they get along, and it's the typical macho BS you'd expect from an action flick with a bunch of dudes. But I don't know. It's one of those guilty pleasure things that I would readily admit these are not good movies, but I like watching them. You know what I mean?
It falls into like that's how I feel about like the Fast and the Furious like franchise in general. It's like I don't care. They're dumb, but whatever. They're fun.
That's probably a good comparison.
So yeah, I would be willing to watch The Expendables. As far as Van Damme, I mean, there's like only one movie of his that I think really anyone should watch, and that's Bloodsport. So if you want to get down on some Kumite, maybe we could do that in the future.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't drink, so I don't know what you'd have to do to convince me to do it. Like, you can't make the joke, we got to get Tom drunk enough to do this. I don't drink, so I got to figure out something else.
Bloodsport's not that bad. There's like Kickboxer is kind of the same thing as Bloodsport and definitely not as good. And then for me, the rest of Van Damme's movies just go straight downhill from there. Yeah.
Well, talk about losing people. We've lost several people here, kids, and I don't mean to death. But I'm just saying.
What did Van Damme do?
We lost him too, man.
Look all this stuff up.
We lost him too, man. Like it's, every time you think you're in the clear, you're like, what? He's one too? Oh, God. And then you're just upset. So that's me at this point with not most, but some of Hollywood. Well, kids, there you have it. There's RoboCop 2. And it's dinner time at 8 o'clock at night. Chris, before we get out of here, let's get your last word on RoboCop 2.
Not as good as I remember it from the last time I saw it. And in retrospect, we probably should have just watched something else.
Now he tells me.
I don't remember it being that bad.
I really don't either at all.
In my memory.
Yeah.
I remember it being better than the third one, which makes me nervous to watch the third one now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to have to wait a year. I just don't think I could do it. I really don't think I could do it. Yeah.
What are your final thoughts on the RoboCop?
So, again, I don't know at the time if I thought it was a great movie, but I sure didn't remember this at all. And I'd forgotten the scene on the table when he put that scalpel down that dude's chest. It came back to me like, oh, this turned my stomach first time I saw it. Like, yeah. I think RoboCop is very much a product of its time, in my opinion. Maybe that's why the reboot didn't work, because some stuff reboots, Chris. I mean, I've made comparisons like this before, never compare it to RoboCop, of course, but if you get the right actor and the right story or the right director, the right team, you can make Sherlock Holmes work in any period. You can make James Bond work in any period, because the source material, there's so much great source material to draw from. But to me, this kind of feels like this is a 90s movie, and that's where it's going to stay. Like, they managed to bring Terminator forward, and you could argue a lot of that stuff is crap, and it is. But, they managed to keep it going, and the studios kept saying yes to multiple iterations, multiple sequels, multiple TV shows and games. But RoboCop kind of feels like it's maybe always going to be in this time period, man, this time frame. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I love the first film, and I still enjoy it the last time we watched it. The second one, I think you could probably cut out 45 minutes of it and make a better movie.
I agree.
I don't think they cut enough.
No.
That's what I'm getting at.
How long was it before they cut it? My God.
Like, the middle fights, like the middle fight scene with RoboCop could have been the end of the movie for me.
Yeah.
Like honestly, outside of the the best scene in the entire thing, or at least this watch through for me, was definitely the kids robbing the electronics store. That was pretty funny.
That was awesome.
And they did have the funny commercial at the beginning of the film with what was the car security?
Yeah, Magnavolt, I think. Yeah.
Magnavolt. Yeah, the Magnavolt security system was pretty good.
This movie didn't have enough John Glover. Let's just say it. Didn't have enough John Glover in it.
Well, hopefully, I haven't watched all of the deleted scenes. I do remember the Elvis God thing because that was really funny to me when I was younger. But like going back, I wonder if there's more commercials that were in the original or in the. I'll have to pull the DVD out later and see what else is on that thing, because they should have done more of that. Honestly, it needs a little. They relied too much on these big explosions and action sequences, where the first movie, I think, had less of that.
Yeah, it did. A lot less.
But it felt like more original. I don't know. Like this one seemed like it was trying to be something it wasn't.
Yeah.
And when you consider the time that this movie came out and that you get Terminator 2 not that far after, like the stop motion stuff also, just if you're putting it in a comparison, it's just not great.
And plus, good point about T2, because like they managed to advance the story and made, in my opinion, T2 is in a lot of ways more compelling than the first one, because you really don't know for a while who's on whose side, and if how can this be the same guy but it's not, and like does he make it to the end, and what like I don't know. I think part 2's because we got to meet Dyson, and that was pretty cool. But like this movie didn't advance the characters. Everything just kind of sat still. And
well, if anything, they dialed the character back.
Yeah,
like they dialed RoboCop and his partner back a lot. Like their relationship in general was not focused on at all.
Yeah,
which is
very odd
to the first film. But like, yeah, when you think about the fact that Terminator 2 came out in 91 and this movie came out in 90, it's like it's less acceptable, like what they put on screen.
Yeah.
Whereas like the first RoboCop being the time period it came out and having some big, like making a giant Ed 209 as goofy as it was, that's not that's a very small part. They had a way better bad guy in Clarence Boddicker. So like the actual like action between RoboCop and Clarence Boddicker's character is way better than anything else you see in the film.
And I mean, looking back on it now, easy for me to say, like I work on films, but it almost feels like, couldn't you just done a big plastic suit, made it look metal and put an actual actor in it, and there's stilts where the legs are, and just moved them around. And I mean, I think you could film it in such a way it looks like he's doing damage to RoboCop. I don't know if you needed stop motion. Am I crazy?
Or, I mean, you could have just leaned into what CGI was.
Yeah.
For the time period and done something there. I mean, you get the war scene at the beginning of Terminator. Like, and also, like I said, they killed the gimmick. Like, you didn't need him to fight another robot. He already did it in the first movie. It would have almost been better just to give us the big epic shootout, right? Like between him and the main villains, like they did with. That's the thing, is that you get the better payoff in RoboCop, the first RoboCop, because you do get the Clarence Boddicker shootout before he ever fights Ed 209. And the limitations of Ed 209, he's not in the film very long. Right. So the stop motion doesn't wear on you as much as it does in this film, especially going back to it. And also Ed 209 just looks goofy when they get on the stairs.
Yeah.
You can't figure out the stairs. So you get a little bit of a comedic element there.
Right. It's a good call. Yeah.
But yeah, like I would not, it'll be a bunch more years before I watch this again. I'm sure it'll come on after me watching RoboCop, and I'll probably like on like Pluto TV or something, and I'll end up watching it. But yeah, it's not going to be something I would go back to. Like I definitely go back to RoboCop, the original RoboCop, quite often. But this, I don't know. I could go a while without seeing it again.
Yeah, same. I'm not really interested. On that note, we hope you loved it. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, sorry if you guys, anyone out there really loves this film.
Yeah, well,
but yeah, it's more story.
Yeah, well, hey,
Kinda. I mean, you don't really get a lot of it.
everybody loves something. If you're gonna love something, I guess there's worse stuff to love. But you know, right now I can't think of anything worse. I'm just
the video game is way better than this film. So if you want something set in the same time period between 1 and 3, I would say just play the video game.
I'll leave you with, we needed more John Glover and we needed Sting.
Yeah,
That's what I'll leave you with.
More of the mayor. The mayor would have
mayor.
been a more character. He would have been a more charismatic bad guy, honestly.
Yes.
They should have just wrote him as the bad guy.
He's the best actor in the movie, dude, by far. Like, you can't even hold a candle to him. Peter Weller couldn't share the screen with this guy. He'd get outplayed. Like,
Peter Weller was pretty good in the scenes where they actually let him say anything of note. Like I said, probably one of the best scenes in the film is that the heist, the kid baseball team heist, where they actually gave him some dialogue, but he just doesn't get a whole lot.
Where did they go? What, are you kidding me? They're right here. They're still here.
Yeah, like that's
Ridiculous.
the only time he gets any kind of dialogue is after he gets reprogrammed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, thanks again, kids, for watching. Stay tuned for more. The next one shouldn't be like this. So no RoboCop 3 in your future. Give it 12 months, and maybe then we'll be back for that. But in the meantime, we'll be back with other stuff. But yeah, thanks as always for watching, kids. Check out the archives. Download, subscribe, like, follow, all that good stuff. Tell your friends. You don't have to tell them about this episode, but you can tell them about the rest of them for the most part. And we'll be back real soon with other stuff. Be sure to follow the show so you don't miss it. But in the meantime, that is RoboCop 2.